The granting agencies, the Canadian Institutes of Health Research, the Natural Sciences and Engineering Research Council, and the Social Sciences and Humanities Research Council are in the process of transitioning to a new narrative-style CV for our funding competitions called the Tri-Agency CV. In this webinar, we will explore why the Tri-Agency CV is being adopted, provide an overview of its format, and share tips and tricks to help you navigate the narrative CV effectively. The granting agencies engaged closely with representatives from the research community to ensure the Tri-Agency CV meets their needs. 6 guiding principles for the new CV emerged from these engagements. First, make the CV inclusive and accessible. Users wanted a CV that is inclusive, barrier-free, and recognizes diverse research outputs across disciplines and participant types. The design of the CV, including CV templates, instructions, and terminology, should consider the needs of all users, whether academic or non-academic. Second, foster research excellence with the new CV. We have heard the need to refocus research assessment away from research quantity and to prioritize research quality, contribution, leadership, and impact. Evaluation criteria should foster research excellence in this way by assessing a broader range of skills, experiences, and qualitative impacts. Third, support evaluation needs. The CV must continue capturing the information needed for the granting councils to conduct policy analysis and compliance monitoring. Fourth, create a user-friendly experience. Users wanted a CV that is intuitive, with a more user-friendly design, layout, and navigation. Fifth, make it flexible for the future. The CV should be adaptable and evolve to meet future research needs. And finally, sixth, align with Tri-Agency funding goals. The CV should capture key information aligned with the objectives of funding opportunities for accurate assessment. Why are the granting agencies adopting the Tri-Agency CV? As an applicant, the new narrative-style CV format will allow you flexibility to contextualize the research contributions that best highlight your expertise and impact. It allows you to tell your story. This format prioritizes written descriptions of your research contributions so you can highlight a wide range of research outputs and describe your career trajectories in more detail, allowing peer reviewers to get a better sense of the breadth of your contributions. This format values broader research contributions and impacts, such as influence on policy, public engagement, or leadership and mentorship, alongside more traditional research outputs like publications. It's consistent with the 3 federal research funding agencies' commitment to a more inclusive, diverse, and holistic approach to excellence in research evaluation. By emphasizing a wide range of outputs and impacts, the narrative CV gives peer reviewers a more comprehensive view of your expertise and contributions. We're in good company as we join many other funders opting to use narrative-style CVs. Funding agencies like the US National Institutes of Health and UK Research and Innovation have made this same transition. The narrative-style Tri-Agency CV consists of 3 sections: a personal statement section, a section to describe your most significant contributions and experiences, and a supervisory and mentorship activities section. A designated section to include what we call person information that might be found in a traditional CV, such as diplomas and work experiences, has been removed from the Tri-Agency CV to allow for a more narrative-style CV. If person information is relevant to any of the 3 sections, it can be included in a narrative format. In the personal statement section, as an applicant, You should describe why you are well suited for your proposed role in the research project. Think about this section as the place where you could mention information such as relevant expertise related to the specific topic or related topics, the impact of your research and its benefits to society and science, lived or living experience, in other words, the personal knowledge gained through direct, first-hand involvement in events that have shaped your perspective, or previous work that provides context to the results of your research activities which support your current application. In the most significant contributions and experiences section, describe up to 10 important contributions or experiences that relate to your application. Remember, these should be descriptions and not just a list of contributions. Contributions described in the personal statement section can be mentioned again here. As an applicant, you should explain the impact, significance, usefulness, and your role in each contribution or experience. A contribution does not have to be a single publication or report. This can include a collection of related publications. Your contributions and experiences section should not be limited to just publications. For instance, you could mention articles and other publications, such as communications, conference proceedings, government publications. Assessment and review activities, such as journal reviews, conference reviews, or peer review activities. Community service or involvement that leverages expertise, such as membership on expert or advisory committees, community sharing circles, or engagement events. Your contributions to policies, guidelines, regulations, laws, rights, standards, or practices. In the supervisory and mentorship activities section, describe how you have helped mentor or train future generations. This can include the development of highly qualified personnel for careers within and outside of academia. You may mention the creation of safe, equitable, and inclusive research environments, practices, and norms. The development and delivery of training workshops outside of research or course requirements. Formal or informal mentorship of highly qualified personnel. Outreach and engagement activities. It's okay if there's overlap between sections of the tri-agency CV, as well as between the tri-agency CV and the application. For example, you may discuss the impact of your research in the personal statement section and also include this information in other sections of the tri-agency CV. When it comes to format, the tri-agency CV should be no longer than 5 pages in English or 6 pages for a CV written in French, and must follow the agency formatting guidelines that can be found on each agency's website. There is no limit to the amount of information for each of the 3 sections. Those 5 or 6 pages are yours to tell your story. You may choose to devote more space to a certain section over another, depending on the nature of your past contributions and experience. The information in your tri-agency CV must be self-contained. It should stand alone and provide all relevant details that peer reviewers need to make their assessments. So where should you start? Start by reading the funding opportunity instructions carefully, as well as the materials for reviewers, such as the evaluation criteria. Review the tri-agency CV instructions and our answers to frequently asked questions. The tri-agency CV instructions include additional examples of what may be included in each section. Download the tri-agency CV template. The template is to be used as is, without any changes to the format. Start early. It may take a day or more to write your first narrative CV. When the time comes for you to start writing your narrative CV, you should look at your existing CV and highlight what is relevant to each section of the narrative CV for the specific funding opportunity and project you're proposing in your application. You can highlight your strongest and most relevant contributions and experiences, ensuring they align with the funding opportunity. Take the time to identify the significance of the activities and provide evidence of the highlighted activities. Also, be flexible. You can always move examples between sections to see where they fit best. We suggest writing an introductory sentence in each module to set the stage. What should the reviewer focus on and remember? Draft the text for each of the 3 sections and get feedback, revise, edit, and polish your CV. We have a few final tips to keep in mind as you get to writing your narrative CV. Be selective. Rather than long lists of publications, narrative CVs are geared towards qualitative descriptions of impact. Choose your strongest contributions and clearly describe their impact. Think broadly. Address academic and non-academic outreach and impact. Use evidence. You're telling your story, and it needs to be substantiated every step of the way. Avoid using quantitative metrics in isolation. For example, number of publications and citations, the size or number of research grants, and so on. Metrics can provide useful context or help identify trends like citation patterns or interdisciplinary collaborations, but they should not dominate your CV or stand alone. Use metrics in combination with a more holistic measure of quality and impact, such as societal contributions or scientific innovations. Describe your career path and its context, whether traditional or non-traditional. Lastly, tailor your narrative CV to align with the key criteria and scope of the funding program, ensuring maximum relevance and impact. Thanks for participating in this webinar to learn more about the narrative style Tri-Agency CV. Don't forget to access the instructions and learning materials on the granting agency's websites for more information.